We were literally looking for military schools, and I mean, whatever it cost. We were at our dire straits with my son.
What we were doing wasn't working, right? So I think just doing something different. Again, you talk about the different consequences that we have if the child is doing the same thing over and over and over, then obviously you've got to try something different, right?
Do y'all know where you're at right now?
We were on our last leg with Bryson. This literally was the military school was on the books. We were looking at the ones in Charleston. We were looking at the ones in Florida. We were looking.
You know, I think the take everything away short period of time, you know, kind of thinking through that, and, you know, it's kind of like a grounding, but it's someone else kind of reinforcing those rules that parents set in place, and reinforcing those consequences, that there are consequences to your actions.
And we're not just simply concerned about your behavior in here, we're concerned about your heart.
Being a teenager today, and like anybody else said, it's much harder than it was when I was growing up. The peer pressure and the friends they have. So I speak a lot about life, about choices, and the choices we make can land us into a bad situation, what it has some of these kids has come through.
I could not even begin to explain the miraculous difference in my child. Mr. Jamie taught him, you know, to try and appreciate what you have, that it could be taken away. But I walked away from here that day from camp being empowered to be his parent, because I had lost that. And that was probably one of the biggest changes for us, was me having the power to be his parent again and make the rules and say, oh yes, you are going to do this.
You know, I know he really did not want to do this, right? So we kind of made the decision about, I'd say about 3 weeks ago. So for the last 3 weeks, it's been, I don't want to go to TEASPOT. It's not going to help. There's no point, right? But I think, you know, from what I've seen over the last 24 hours, I think it has been fruitful. You know, there at the end, he stood up. I think the story around the 10 lepers, right? He stood up and started crying, gave me a hug, and I started crying. And, you know, it's something that hasn't happened in a while.
His program is biblically based. It's very simple. It gives parents back the power to be a parent, and helps us realize that we're not doing our children any favors by letting them get away with things that we know is wrong. I just wish more people would have the courage to come and do this camp, because it would change their life.